Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to get us started with our lesson. We are yes, that's what we're starting to talk about, the Titanic. So we are going to um, look at base words and we're going to look at prefixes and suffixes. So before I mute you guys while we're talking, let's just think about what it means. We talked about with base words for our last unit, right? Do you guys remember what they are? They're like the word, like if you break the word apart on its own, like you see use is its own word. Now, if we put the prefix, meaning that we put it in the beginning, re in front of use, what does reuse mean? Yeah, to use it again. Now, if we used a base word like full, or sorry, a suffix like full, useful, what does that mean? If we use a suffix, meaning that it goes at the end of the word, like full, useful, what does useful mean? Yeah, something that you can that benefits you, that's important, something that you can use, right? Yeah. So what we are looking at with this unit is um instead of using like other like this is our grammar, basically our grammar lesson of the unit, trying to find out words that we don't know using prefix and suffix. What, Joel? Grammar, they're like the rules of like writing and speaking in English. Well, really for any language. So like for example, we're going to talk about on Tuesday when you write something in the past, you add what letters to the end of the word, you know? You add ed to the end of the word, right? So like if I call you now, I'm calling you right now. But if I called you in the past, called the ed on the end, that means we did it earlier in the day, earlier in the week, whatever. Right? So in that's the other part of the grammar that we're going to study. Well, there's in Spanish, you guys don't add s's to the end of your words. The words change, right? But am I right, Joelle? So yes, but like in English, if I have multiple water bottles, I have to add an S on the end. So that's all grammar. These are examples of like these rules that we have to follow in English. So with a prefix, it means that something's coming before. Like if you think of preview, you read something before you review it. So pre means to come before, and suffix means that it comes at the end. So we're just going to go through it together. We'll look at some of the examples they have, and then we'll do the worksheets that you would have in your book. Okay. So, for example, it says if you look closely at the word to see if you know any of its parts, and you cover the prefixes or the suffixes, you can find the base word. So reuse, our base word is use. Once you know what the base word is, and you figure out does it have a prefix or does it have a suffix, you can start to figure out the word if you don't know it. So I'm going to read this little example they give you, and then we'll just go through and we'll figure out these words. You might know them already, so it might be easy for you, but it's good practice to start easy and then we'll get a little harder. Okay. So what is it like to climb Mount Everest, the world's tallest mountain? Samantha Larson, an 18-year-old from California, knows. Samantha, her father, and several helpful guides made the climb in 2007. During the climb, they often had to test and retest their equipment to make sure it was safe. After a month of climbing, they reached the top of the mountain. What a joyful occasion. Okay, so let's look at hope or helpful first. If we didn't know what the word helpful meant, what would be the base word, Dana, in helpful? I can't unmute you. Helpful, Dana. Look at this word. There's a word in there that should be familiar. Helpful. Here, I'll make it bigger. Helpful. Do you recognize a word in there, the base word? What? Christian, do you have a question? Dana, this word helpful. If I got rid of the full, what word is left? Help, right? What does it mean to help someone, Dana? Yeah, right. Like I'm doing something so that you understand the like what you need to do, right? Right. Or something that you don't know how to do, someone um they like assist you basically to get it done, right? But when you add helpful, it means that you are able to help someone, right? That makes sense? Yeah. Okay. Christian, how about retest? Can you do that one? Where's the base word or what is the base word? Good. And what where is it a prefix or a suffix? Sorry. In retest, prefix, right? Because it comes in the beginning. What does retest mean? Hmm? Good, perfect, right? You are able to do it again, right? Good. Um, Isaac, I just want to fill you in really quickly. We are going through our grammar lesson for this unit. So we're talking about prefixes, meaning parts of words that change the base word, and a prefix is at the beginning, and a suffix is at the end. Okay, so while we are going through these activities, like if you want to jump in, Christian does this thing where he raises his hand. You can do that, or you can just start talking. Okay, good. All right, cool. All right, so then let's see. Joelle, you want to help me do joyful? Joelle, what is where? Why can't I unmute you? Okay, Mark, then can you do joyful? And Joelle, I'm gonna pick you for the next one. Good. So joyful, what does that mean though? Yeah, to be full of joy. Good. Perfect. All right, let me scroll down to the next one. All right, Joelle, you're gonna help me with the practice together, okay? All right, so I'm over here. I'm gonna read this to you and then we'll go through and we'll figure out these words, okay? So much to discover on Earth. People have often gone to new places because they want to discover something new. A discovery can be many things. It can be a place that someone sees for the first time. It can be art that was lost for thousands of years. It can even be a new idea. What lies at the bottom of the ocean? What treasures are hidden deep in the earth? Scientists who ask thoughtful questions like these sometimes find important answers. They write about their findings so people in the world can learn more. All right. Joelle, what do you think the word discover means? Yeah, but what does the word discover mean? Let's break it down. What's the base word, Joelle, in discover? Oops. Joelle, in the word discover, it has a prefix and it has a base word. Can you figure out like a prefix isn't its own word? So, do you know what the real word is in discover? What is it? Okay, so you're not understanding me. So, Joelle, what we've been talking about is that in a word like discover, dis is a prefix and cover is the base word, meaning that like dis is not a real word. Cover is a real word in English. Okay? So cover, if I say I'm covering up the I don't know, I'm covering this up. What does that mean? If I cover the answer on the board, let's say I'm covering up this poster behind me. Can you see it or can you not see it? If I cover it, Joelle, would you be able to see it? No, right? So when you cover something, it's unseen. You don't know that it's there. If you discover something, look up here, the prefix dis means the opposite of. If you're doing the opposite of cover, what does that mean? Can you see it or can you not see it? Yeah, perfect. So a discovery, like if you break that word down, it just means uncovering what people didn't know before. Good. Good, Joel. Scientist is studied. Does anyone want who wants to test that one? That's a little bit tough. Scientist. Scientist. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Science, right? Mm-hmm. What is that? Yes, it's the base word. Perfect. And then what is the suffix, Mark? Good. And what does ist mean? Yeah, if you look up here in the chart they give you, it means one who. So a scientist, if you break that word apart, is someone who studies science or does science, right? I mean, that's what they are. The letter S is also a suffix, but we'll do that on Tuesday when I see you guys then. So don't worry about it for now. Yes. When you put the S on the end, it's a suffix, right? Because it goes at the end of the word and it changes the meaning. Because a suffix mean all that a suffix means is that it's a it changes a base word. And so S at the end of a word makes like the noun plural. So it's changing the base word. Hmm? Same with like ed. Ed is also a suffix. Isaac, would you like to do thoughtful? Christian. Isaac, would you like to do thoughtful? What's the base word? Start there. Yep, thought. Perfect. And then does it have a prefix or a suffix? Good. What's the suffix? Good. And what does full mean? What does full mean? Yeah, full of, right? Like if your stomach is full, you're filled with it, right? So if you're thoughtful, you're filled with what? If you're thoughtful, you are filled with what? With thoughts, right? What, Christian? Oh, Joel. All right, good. No, you're fine. You're all good. All right, so dive into Monterey Bay. We're gonna skip that, and I want to do the worksheet with you guys. Hopefully, I don't end the video. Okay. So I don't like I said on the last video, I don't have the student copy. I only have the teacher copy. So we're just gonna go through these word parts together, and we'll talk about it. So following the directions above, which is just what we talked about before, find the base word, figure out if it's a suffix or prefix, and what do they mean. Write the meaning of each underlined word. So I'll read this really quickly and then we'll go through it. Scientists today can go very deep in the ocean. They discover many strange and unusual life forms. Some creatures have no stomachs or mouths. Others have no eyes. Some fish even glow in the dark. The deep ocean is full of wonderful life forms. So we already did scientists. We already did discover. Let's try unusual. Who wants to do unusual? You want to do it, Christian? Oh, yeah, I think you can do it. Christian, start with what is the base word? Unusual. Oh, why did it all highlight like that? Yes, usual. Good. So what does like usual mean? Yeah, it's something normal, right? Something that happens often. So what's it does it have a prefix or a suffix? Good. What's the prefix? Un. Perfect. Yeah, so un just means not, right? I know we talked about this with the last unit that some of these little words they have their own meaning. So unusual, as you can see, means not common or ordinary. Okay? Good, Christian. Good job. Dana, can you do wonderful with me? Yeah, which is the base word? Good. Mm-hmm. And does it have a prefix or a suffix, Dana? Prefix means that the change comes before the base word, and suffix means it comes after the base word. If wonder is the base word, here, let me highlight it. That was a really bad highlight. Wonder is the base word. Is the change at the beginning or the end? Good. So is it a prefix or a suffix? It happens in the beginning, and suffix means that it happens in the end. The change happens in the beginning of the word? Okay, all right. So it's a suffix. Sorry if that was confusing. So the suffix, Dana, is full. So wonderful means what? Yeah, it's full of wonder, right? Like something great, right? Like right now, that was wonderful, Dana. Great job. All right, we'll do the other one and then we'll move on. All we have to do is watch the movie or the little quick video. It's not a whole movie, it's like a 5-minute video, but it's kind of fun. All right, so let's read the next one. Scientists often disagree about discoveries. For example, some tree frog specialists think that the colorful frogs sit still to restore energy. Other scientists notice that these frogs have a special liquid on their skin to keep them cool. They think that the frogs sit still so the liquid doesn't rub off. All right. Who wants to do disagree? Go for it. Mm-hmm. Good. What does disagree mean? Yeah, right. You don't think the same way as them, right? Perfect. Good. Isaac, do you want to do specialists? Christian. So the base word is what? Isaac, in the word specialist, what is the base word? Yes, special. Good. So then there's actually two suffixes. Do you know what they are? Isaac, do you know what the suffixes are? It's right there. It's all good. Isaac, hello? All right, well then Dana, help him out. Dana, I'll help you. Okay, Joelle, that's fine with me. Joelle, listen, in specialist, there's two suffixes, okay? I'm gonna help you. All right, so see how there's ISTS? There's two here. Can you find one of them? Joelle, go ahead, Joelle, you can do it. Specialist. Specialist. Sorry, my bad. I didn't say that right. You got it. What is the base word? Yes, perfect. So what letters are left? Good. So ist, and what's the other suffix? Joelle, ist is the first suffix. What's the other one? What's the only letter left? Yeah, that's one. All right. So ist is the first one, and then what's the letter that's left? Yes. So with specialists, there's two, um, what are they called? Two suffixes. What? There's two left. So ist, Mark helped us out before, but if we ever get lost, ist means one who. So specialist is someone who is special, who specializes in something, right? All right. Joel, do you want to do colorful since you're here? What's the base word? Perfect. Good. Is full a prefix or a suffix? Good. So what does colorful mean? It has a lot of color. Perfect, Joel. Good. Good. All right. So that's what we're doing here. What? Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me pull this up. So this is the section opener, meaning like this is the new reading that we're going to do. Our first reading that we're going to look at, we'll start actually after spring break, is called Return to Titanic. So what do you think it's going to be about? Yeah, it's going to be about the Titanic. And since we're talking about discoveries, it's going to be about people who found the Titanic, right? So it's actually a really interesting story. I think you guys are going to like it. What, Joelle? Or Christian? Yeah, that's a really good point. Christian, if we're returning to the Titanic, like why would we have to return to the Titanic? Where did it go? Yeah, it's sunk. So we have to this is when they finally found it again. It's a really good title for it. All right, so let's try out this video. Let me know if you can't hear the video, and then we'll figure it out. Can you hear it? Not at all? Now? All right, so then let's just do that. All right. Yeah, I think I have to change the way that my microphone picks it up. Let's see, stereo mix. Now can you hear it? Alrighty. All right. So, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay. Were you able to hear any of that? Yes. Okay, good. So, I'm not going to have us actually do the worksheet, but I just want you to think about like this is what our unit is going to be about. So, do you like we talked about for the last unit visualizing? Well, we have pictures in this unit because it's a lot of nonfiction, but we can still talk about like emotions that come up when we visualize. So like when you hear about like the Titanic and you hear about discoveries, are there any emotions you feel, any thoughts you have about it? Anyone? I said that when we were in the last unit, we were visualizing a lot because we were reading fantasy. Well, we're reading nonfiction this unit, so there's a lot more pictures. It's real. We can understand it more, but we can still think about like the emotions that come up when we talk about discoveries. So, like when you think of a discovery, are there any emotions that you can think of that come up with it, or any thoughts you have? Anything you find interesting about discoveries, or something that you'd want to know more about? Yeah, what would you, if you could discover anything, or if you have any questions that you have, is there anything that you'd want to discover, the drive to discover? What, Joelle? Oh, new technologies? Okay, that's really cool. That's a good idea, right? And like that, you might be able to, especially if it's something new, like you definitely would have to find something that nobody else has found before, right? Good. Dana, what were you going to say before? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Okay. Yeah, of course. Christian, what was your question? How did the submarine go that deep to find the Titanic? So, if you saw that man, Robert Ballard, he made this ship that made it so that he could go underwater. Um, like in an airplane, they have the same kind of technology, but they're up high in the air. So there's pressure up there too, and there's pressure under the water, right? So the ships that they make, the planes that they make, all of these things, they have ways of um, basically like equalizing the pressure so that it's equal on the outside and equal on the inside, so you don't explode. Not all the people, no. I don't think. I don't know if the movie is the most realistic. I don't know how accurate it is, but not everyone died. I mean, they had lifeboats that people were able to get onto, so then that way they could survive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. He didn't tell anyone. Oh, okay. All right. So they didn't know that the iceberg, they thought that because the iceberg on top of the water was not that big, they thought they could go around it, but the iceberg was big underneath. Mhm. But he got stuck, right? Okay. All right. So I totally get what you're saying. Dana, did that answer some of your questions? Okay. All right. I mean, but we're gonna read about it. So I'll show you. We have where's the section? Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Dana, when we read it, we'll learn more about it. Okay. But we're gonna read after spring break. Okay. So don't worry about it right now. All right. Okay. So that's pretty much all that we need to get through for today. When I meet with you guys, what? Well, yeah, I'll send her this video. So we are going to meet again on Tuesday, at 2, like we've been doing, and we'll start talking about asking and giving information and past and present tense. That's pretty much it. Yeah, what's up? Okay, so I'm gonna stop my, actually no, I'll just leave my Screencastify going. So I'm gonna show you the project. That's the other thing I want to go over. So in Classroom, in case you guys have missed my videos, under our classroom, it should be the first one that comes up, country project directions. So when you open it, hmm, when you open it, the directions are here for you, what you need to do. And there's a video too, like I made a whole video on how you can complete this project. Yes. Actually, Isaac, do you know what country you would want? Because you're my last one that I need to get. Let me show you the books that you have. I suggest you guys use the books that you've been reading about because all the info is there. What, Dana? What, Dana? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go over it. I just want to show Isaac real quick so he can pick his country. Okay? All right, Isaac, these are all the books that you read. You want to pick one of these? Okay, sounds good to me. Cool. So now everybody has a country. So what you're gonna do is I'm gonna go through it now, but there's also the video here. So if you forget what I tell you now, there's video directions for you. All right. So you'll open up the project on Classroom. You're gonna open up the project. It'll look like this. The video is here for you too if you want to. Again, I suggest you watch the video. You have to make a copy because you guys can't edit it, only I can. So the way you do that is you click File, make a copy, entire presentation. And I go over this in the video, okay? I'm not going to do it now because I don't need 12 copies of this. I'm going through it, Dana. Honey, you're going to pick, yes. Mm-hmm. Open up the Google slide. All right. Classroom. Yeah, you have to make a copy because you don't have access to edit it. Dana, you're with me? Okay, so you open this up and it looks like this. Yeah, you guys can do this now if you want on your computer while I go through it with you. That's a good idea, Dana. Yes, hon. If you want to jump out, Joelle, that's totally fine. Okay. Yeah, we're done with the middle school lesson. Yeah, if you know what to do, you don't have to stay for this. That's fine. Have a great weekend, Joelle. You too, Mark, okay? I'll see you guys Monday. All right. That's fine. That's totally fine. Danny, you still with me, hon? Okay, did you make yourself a PowerPoint? Where did Isaac go? He doesn't. Whatever. All right, so you made a copy. So all of this is written out for you, but I'll go through it with you too. You don't have any of this? You said you wanted your country to be Peru, right, Christian? Do you want to pick a different country? Okay, that's fine. Which one do you want to do? Okay, fine by me. All right, cool. So, Dana, it doesn't look like this for you? Does it look like this? Yes or no? Okay, good. Okay, so you see, Dana, how there's all these parentheses and dots. So you just have to get rid of them and you put in your information. So let's say I picked I don't know, let me just pick the US and I'll explain it that way. Is that okay? So like the capital city of the United States is Washington, D.C., right? So you just fill in these blanks, okay? Got that? It's here for you too. Go ahead, ask me. Do you have a question, Dana? You fill in these blanks. So there's questions for you. The country is on which continent? What country did you pick again? Okay, so you would say Japan is on. Bye, Christian. Have a lovely weekend, hon. And then obviously you'd fill all these in to fit for Japan. Okay, right? Um, and then you'll do that for the people. You'll talk about in Japan, people speak Japanese. Um, what do they do for work? Things like that. This you don't need to do. The natives were because the natives are Japanese people. So don't worry about that, okay? Different land forms. There's like the two islands you can talk about. You can talk about all the mountains that are in Japan, things like that, okay? And then make sure you add pictures because the pictures help you tell the story, right? You finished what? Oh, the book you finished. Oh, good, good. All right, perfect. So I can give you that credit for this week then. Perfect. Um, all right, cool. So like obviously that's what you're gonna do, Dana. You're just gonna fill in these blanks, okay? And add pictures. If you find a video, put a video in there, okay? Just the more you add, the better. Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wednesday. And that by Wednesday, I need to have either the screencastify or we can meet on Zoom and you can present. Yeah, but it'll just be you and me. It literally will be you'll read from the presentation. Hmm. It's just because part of ESL is that I hear you guys speak English, and so this is my way of assessing that, testing that. Yeah, but it's easy. It won't be hard. Yeah, that's why I want you guys to use the books on Raz Kids, because then all this information is in there, you know? All right, let me end my screencastify and then I'll help you with that, okay?